Okay, good evening out there. So again, this is 3rd of March evening EST. So if you're watching live, drop in the comment section so that I can also send you the link to join the studio live. Again, this particular webinar, we are going to talk about the invisible expertise because if you've been watching for the last couple of days, the lives, it's always the visible authority. It's quite direct and very strategic way through to achieving this. So you've healed patients, but who knows your name? And as a clinician, you've healed patients, clients, you help many achieve the kind of emotional freedom which they need. So you've spent 10 years, 15 years, 25 years probably mastering medicine. You have amazing expertise with all the long nights, residency pressure, and you've changed many lives in your own hands. But when it comes to online, you are invisible. So less experienced clinicians are getting the speaking gigs, they're getting the keynote engagement, they're getting the speaking gigs, they're building audiences, and also they're launching programs, they're launching their digital assets, and you're still waiting to be ready. So it's not about social media, it's not about just LinkedIn Live, it's not about authority, and it's not about whether you are building it or quietly surrendering to it. So if you are invisible online with whatever the text pose or image pose, that's not going to help you as a clinician. So this particular LinkedIn Live is for doctors who are brilliant but unknown. So most of the clinicians out there, they are not searchable, they are not findable to their clients or patients. There are many nurses who carry various departments and they're not visible on almost any of the platforms. They do not leverage any of the platforms. There are many therapists who change lives, but they do not leverage on the algorithms. So there are many clinicians out there who feel stuck inside these systems, the broken systems, on these platform algorithms, I should say. So if you are satisfied being employed forever, this will definitely not resonate with you. If you are satisfied getting hourly pay for whatever the medical expertise or clinical expertise which you have been through in life, then this will never resonate with you and this doesn't make any sense, which is absolutely okay with me. So if you feel something inside of you saying, I have more to offer than this, then this is for you. So please stay or comment. In case if you're watching the replay, comment replay. If you're watching it live, drop in the comment section so that I can bring you. So I can bring you online. You can comment below to join the live studio. And based upon the comments, I'll bring you live. So there are mainly, I didn't start in healthcare just like that. Thankfully, I started in IT. Started with Hewlett Packard or GE, Amazon, again, working on various remote healthcare projects, recruiting platforms, content marketing agencies in US healthcare. I had a pretty stable career with predictable salary, but something totally bothered me. I'd spoken to hundreds of therapists. That's how the video therapy network got established. But the smartest people were quite invisible, and the loudest were not always the best. And during the pandemic, I always walked away from the corporate life not because I hated it, because I realized something, that expertise without visibility is quite fragile. And this lesson applies to medicine more than anywhere else. It applies to clinicians, and that's how the clinicianstory.com had evolved. That's how dampreneurs.com had evolved, because I know that almost all the clinicians are damn good, damn sure, and damn right about what they do. So the belief which I had shifted. Your degrees give you credibility, but it's your visibility which gives you leverage. There are lots of hospitals, clinic, or remote healthcare visits. They give you income. Hospitals give you income, or clinical spaces give you income, stable income. But authority gives you independence. Authority gives you independence. And independence is something which changes everything. Just commenting on other people's posts on the feed, trying to show your authority doesn't change the game at all. So, and here is the real problem. You think the problem is time, lack of time. You think the problem is algorithms. You think the problem is not knowing what to post. Or you think the problem is compliance. Probably the fear of compliance. So none of this really matter at all. The real problem is identity. Because clinicians, as a clinician, you were trained to stay humble. You were trained to avoid self-promotion. You were trained to let your work speak for itself. But the internet doesn't reward humility. Be it on LinkedIn, YouTube, or any other platform, it doesn't reward clarity. I mean, it rewards clarity, but it doesn't reward humility. It only rewards clarity. So there are less talented clinicians. There are less qualified clinicians who are publishing insights or speaking on podcasts, building paid communities, and getting invited to various boards. Not because they are better, because they are visible. So, and these clinicians have taken their chance. They've taken their chance to be visible. They have taken their time out to be present in the field. Again, based upon there's so many nurses out there. Sorry. So they've been practicing for years. So how many years have you been practicing? Just ask yourself, how many years have you been practicing? Does your online presence reflect that kind of experience? Let me know also whatever your strengths are. Many of the clinicians have deep expertise. They have high trust profession. Again, there are lots of real world experiences out there. They have they have amazing emotional intelligence. God, what am I saying? So there are lots of, they go through various series of weaknesses. So again, number one weakness of almost all the clinicians whom I know is they do not have digital positioning. They do not have time. They work double shifts. There's no audience ownership. They are dependent on employer brand. Yes. Almost all the clinicians, even you as a clinician, always depend only on employer brands. And there is massive LinkedIn underutilization in healthcare. Again, if you know about Doximity, if you're active on Doximity, let me know in the comment section. There's a rising demand for trusted medical voices. And with the age of AI, with all automated like the kind of generative intelligence of content, AI, pictures, videos, there is a rising demand for trusted medical voices. There is a huge opportunity for clinicians who are educating. There's a huge opportunity for clinicians who would like to speak, probably the various advisory roles. And working on digital products is something which you can explore as well. So again, there is this biggest threat of being burnt out, being burnt out after the shift, being burnt out, depending on the system. Clinicians almost probably you depend on the system, on the broken system. And there is this threat of being replaceable as well. There is this threat of AI content noise. So if you don't build authority now, someone else will definitely defines the narrative. So let's see what are the growth levers for you as a clinician. If we talk expansion, none of you are probably, you don't need to quit medicine or you don't need to quit clinical practice. And a couple of folks or clinicians, I know they're published authors, they have published their books on Amazon, they have hundreds of articles published on their LinkedIn, probably they're quite active on their newsletters. This is what you need to be doing. You need to, you don't need to quit clinical practice. You need to leverage the platform. You need to position your authority. As long as you have a clear niche, not just something as a, in case, for instance, or for example, cardiologist or cardiology. You can position yourself as preventive cardiology for high stress executives. Clarity definitely beats these credentials. Again, when it comes to content engine, it could be stories, it could be case reflections, it could be lessons from various kinds of practices which you had been through in the past. So there is no patient data which you can speak about as in with respect to content. Again, there is no need of being afraid of any violations. You can just share your insights. In short, just sharing your insights. And you as a clinician, you can turn your experience into various frameworks. It can be your intellectual property, by the way. It can be, we can convert them into various checklists. I can help you create the free guides or lead magnets. It can be also your IP and whatever the talks or voices which you've been through. Your experience is your IP. Your experience is your intellectual property. So let me know in the comment section if you if you're catching this replay or if you're watching the live. So for anyone out there who are trying to work with small peer circles or trying to build a community, you will be working on mastermind groups, mini mastermind groups. You might be active on professional forums. Again, your authority will definitely grow in smaller rooms and also professional forums. So that's how you build a community. It could be a mastermind group of peer circles. There could be lots of premium offers which you can launch, and that's where you can take advantage as well. And if you are a clinician or if you are somebody with a clinical practice, you don't need millions of followers. You just need 100 right people. You just need the right kind of audience who will pay you for consulting or speaking engagements or whatever the digital courses which you will publish, or probably the group coachings and the advisory roles is something which you can work on, the kind of premium offers. It's not too expensive. It's not being the cheapest. Again, it's the affordable. When we say premium offers, you launch the affordable programs. So when it comes to working on the 30, 60, 90-day plan as an authority, first thing, optimizing the social media platforms with the right set of keywords is something which many of them do not work on. Optimizing the LinkedIn URL, the profile, showing with clarity, defining the niche, or going through your not only the LinkedIn about, but also the YouTube channels, getting optimized, and also publishing series of posts and starting conversations. Yesterday we had, if you watch yesterday's LinkedIn Live, we had a wonderful conversation with Lachelle Atkins, and also there was Chuck Rather, one of the AA leaders who was available, as in they shared great insights about how to be visible online, again, with respect to how to leverage the platforms or how to host live sessions. In fact, you can also collect various testimonials of the clients or patients, and you can definitely build an email list. So the ultimate goal is working on the engagement, whatever the engagement, instead of hiding under employer brand. So definitely you got to launch small paid programs or small paid whatever the deals which you work on. Can work on some signature framework. You can establish consistent authority with a theme, though the ultimate goal will be to monetize. So with whatever the skill set which you have out there, as you monetize and as you stay honest for the kind of money conversations which you'll have, things will flow in, because you didn't sacrifice decades to cap your income at one employer. When you build authority, the speaking gigs can pay $5,000, $10,000, or $20,000. The advisory roles can be recurring retainers. And online programs is the scalable income. Whatever the digital assets which you create will create that scalable income. Again, the articles which you publish are basically the kind of articles or newsletters which you publish, because the authority gets multiplied, right? Authority multiplies your earning potential as a clinician. So why do many clinicians fail? Why most of you fail? The number one reason is they just wait to feel confident. They wait for the perfect moment. They wait for the perfect timing. And they overthink compliance. Lots of overthinking, procrastination is also in the list. Everything else will fall into the list, the three reasons which I'm giving you. And they don't have patience. They don't commit long enough. So your visibility compounds. Definitely, the first 30 days will feel awkward. 90 days will definitely build the kind of traction which you established. And 12 months will accelerate the kind of path which you have chosen as becoming the voice, the trusted voice, becoming the trusted authority. Will definitely change the game, not only on Doximity or LinkedIn or YouTube. In case if you posted something on Instagram and had given up, because the folks I know also did the same, they had given up. They would given up with whatever the kind of posting. So here is the offer which I have for you, as in, if this definitely resonates based upon showing the authority, you only have two options. In fact, you can live inspired and do nothing about whatever is happening, or you can build this strategically with clinicianstories.com. Now, it's not about the vanity metrics. It's not about making you an influencer, but it's working on making you undeniable. It's working on making you work on the positioning, creating the story frameworks, creating the authority, or probably working on ethical content systems. It's about monetizing the pathways. It's quite structured, it's strategic, and it's quite sustainable. So you've healed clients, you have healed patients, but who knows your name outside of hospital walls? If something inside you is saying that I don't want to retire invisible, then this is your moment. Send me a DM of authority, or probably drop in the comment section of authority if you're watching the replay too, or book a call using clinicianstory.com, clinicianstories.com. So your expertise definitely deserves a leverage, and you're the kind of leverage which you accelerate, it changes everything. It changes the entire game. The kind of independence which you're looking for, it'll change the entire game. So for anybody who is watching the replay, I request you to have comment #replay. But let's change the game. Let's change the narrative about how you are going to break this down. And for almost all the clinicians who say they do not have time, they're working double the shifts, who are just looking for sympathy, posting family member posts, or who are looking for, again, I know some posts, again, you might have seen them, pet signed animals, probably working on the posts of the pets, working on the posts of animals, And trying to get little engagement, that's not going to change the kind of authority which you establish. Okay, so let me see. With respect to playing the game full on, trying to establish not only the authority but trying to work, I request you to work on showing or probably being the visible. So invisibility is not going to help you. You got to be visible. You got to comment. You got to take action. Okay, I'm trying to see if I can bring in a resource for you. Let me see if I can bring that up. Again, okay, let's see. Okay, I see this. Trying to leverage the authority of the platform here. Okay, let me see if I can play this. Okay, this is definitely going to change the game. So as a clinician, if you are also using any of the latest AI tools apart from the ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, or apart from any other platform, let me know in the comment section, because just using ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini is not going to change the game for you. Okay, I'm trying to, okay. I hope it's not about selling courses. It's not about selling digital products or assets. It's not about it's about living your legacy. It's about creating that impact. Okay, so this has come to, okay, wow. So working on whom you're addressing, the kind of target audiences which you whom you're going to help. So again, I just wanted to highlight that whatever I had been through in life, I'll definitely stand for what's right. I'll stand for the clinicians. who healed others, have stand for clinicians who helped other clients, but stayed invisible themselves, as in many of them are quite invisible for whatever they had been through. So this is not the end of something, it's just the beginning for the rest of our lives. And tonight or this evening, we step into the sky for our own voice. We step into the visibility we avoided for years. We step into um, the runway of the rest of our lives. Because the rest of our lives, we begin the moment we stop hiding. Now, there are people who don't care how many degrees you have until they know how much you care about their own story. So, the heart of clinician stories, the kind of core values which we follow, again, we are a community of clinicians. Clinician Stories is a community of clinicians. The clinicians who have spent decades caring for others, and we are learning how to care for our own voice here, because you own authority and you own visibility, and definitely we are lifelong learners. But more importantly, we are all leaders who are redefining what it means. Because to be a clinician in the modern world, it's not easy. And it's not just the hospitals. It's not just living inside the hospitals, or it's not just inside the clinics, but it's across the platforms on the internet. It's across communities. It's across the lives of people who needed your wisdom. So whatever the freedom which you're looking for, it's quite strange. It's a strange word in healthcare because it may not resonate. Freedom is something which doesn't resonate. Because as a clinician, you are respected but not heard. As a clinician, you are skilled, but you are invisible. But you know that you have saved lives. And there are many ideas that never leave those hospital walls or clinical walls. And the habit, the kind of habit that the system trained us to do, or probably as a clinician to do, is stay quiet, doing the hard work, and not standing out. But internet definitely changed the game, right? Internet had changed the rules, and clinicians who share their stories shape the conversation, and the clinicians who speak become the leaders people trust, and the clinicians who stay silent definitely will remain unknown. And what I love most about clinician stories are the kind of clinicians who are in touch. It's not the strategy, it's the people. It's the doctors, nurses, therapists, physicians, like psychologists in the list, all discovering that their voice matters, all discovering that they're not just learning from me or from other clinicians, but they're learning from every other clinician who is available online. So you definitely know that confidence grows. You definitely know that authority grows. You definitely know that the impact which you create grows. And suddenly you realize that you're not alone. And for many of the clinicians, they all carry the same mission. They heal people, they heal the client's patients, they teach people, they lead people. And many clinicians also tell me the same thing. They came here to learn visibility, but during that way, they also find their own voice. And once that voice is found, everything changes. So if you want to elevate healthcare in the world, we need clinicians who teach. We need clinicians who raise their voice for the kind of silence which they go in their lives. We need clinicians who share what they know, not just in writing posts or in newsletters, because the best way to improve healthcare is not just treating patients one by one. It's educating thousands of people in one go through whatever the knowledge which you have been through. So the various models where clinicians can impact more people, earn more, or live with more freedom. But this is a new school for the new world, and with almost all these AI tools out there, they're going to shape the conversation around health. They're sharing their expertise online. We get the banner here. Okay. Many of them build communities around their knowledge. They build trusted voices far beyond the hospital walls. So freedom is not just about money. Freedom is not being able to speak openly about what you know. Freedom is helping people who may never walk into your clinic. Freedom is building a life. Freedom is where your knowledge travels farther than you ever could imagine. So my journey didn't start with certainty. It started with lots of confusion. Working in the corporate roles, also learning the systems, learning the operations, learning the tech. But something was really always missing, the purpose. I realized something more powerful. And the internet or the AI tools or the post-pandemic, everything is changing how people learn. So there are people who are no longer only just sitting to whatever the institutions are offering. The people who are not just listening to individuals, but there are real people, real stories, real experiences. And that's when I saw the gap. There are thousands of clinicians who are doing incredible work, but nobody knew their stories, nobody knew their wisdom, nobody heard their voice. And that's when I decided to do things differently instead of chasing trends. I started helping professionals to tell their stories instead of building just resumes, or I started helping people build their runways, because LinkedIn is not just a resume anymore. It's not just a platform, because you and me know that many clinicians who just post once a year, or probably comment once a month. So the people who step onto it shape the future of their industry. So when clinicians start sharing their knowledge online, something remarkable happens. They attract people, their voices build trust. Again, you as a clinician, your expertise reaches thousands, and suddenly the invisible clinician becomes the trusted authority. So when your tribe finds you, when your message spreads, when your impact grows, everything changes. And the model we follow is not chasing followers, not chasing algorithms, but building authority through stories, building trust through real experiences, building influence through service. So when you combine your expertise with storytelling and digital platforms, you create something more powerful. You create a movement. So the kind of mission which I'm working is quite simple, helping thousands of clinicians step into the online authority, to share their experiences, to build their communities, to teach what they know. Again, because the world definitely needs experienced clinicians, be it guiding the conversation around health, not just influencers who read through Google, but professionals who live the work. So this is the best time in the history for you to share your voice with all the over complications of the AI tools, the people searching for trusted experts. They need guidance. They want real stories. They want someone who understands them, and that someone could be you. So once you start this journey, you don't want to stop this, because helping people at scale is definitely addictive. You can watch your ideas help someone across the world is quite powerful, because you're seeing that your knowledge will change lives. It is definitely going to be unforgettable. So I request you to stay visible. I stand for clinicians who own their authority. I stand for the future where healthcare professionals are not invisible online, but they need help, because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs real experts, and that's exactly who you are. So this is just the beginning of the rest of your life. And this is kind of okay. This is the kind of impact which you need to achieve. So signing off, Raj Misa. Again, I'll connect with you, send me a DM or stay in touch, and you will figure out why less talented clinicians are more visible than you, and how do you change that game. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Take care. Thank you.